Some motorcycles are designed to impress on spec sheets. They boast jaw-dropping horsepower figures, top speeds that border on absurd, and electronics that could rival a spaceship. The 2025 Honda Dax and 2025 Honda Monkey are the opposite of that. On paper, their numbers are modest: a 124 cubic centimeters engine, top speeds in the mid-50s, and just over 200 pounds in weight. Yet in the hands of an enthusiast, these mini-motos deliver more pure riding joy per cubic centimeter than many full-sized machines. This isn't just about nostalgia, though both bikes wear their heritage proudly. It's about how two machines, sharing the same mechanical heart, can feel so different once you roll on the throttle. Two legends, two legacies. Honda's mini bike lineage runs deep. The Monkey, born from the Mini Trail 50 of the late 1960s, was designed as a fun, approachable motorcycle for everyone, from kids to seasoned riders. Its name came from the sight of grown adults riding these tiny machines, arms and knees bent at comical angles like monkeys. Over time, it became a cultural icon. The Dax, inspired by the Trail 70, CT70, took a different route. Its long, pressed steel frame gave it a dachshund-like silhouette, earning it the Dax nickname. While it too was small and approachable, it was more utilitarian in design, with a little extra length and stability. In 2025, both returned not as retro novelties, but as fully modern motorcycles, refined, street-legal, and ready to thrive in today's cities. The shared engine, split personalities. At the heart of both machines lies Honda's 124 cubic centimeters air-cooled single-cylinder engine. It's an ultra-reliable power plant, tuned for smoothness rather than brute force. But the way each bike delivers its power changes everything. The Monkey uses a manual clutch with a 5-speed gearbox. This not only gives riders more control over acceleration, but also allows them to keep the engine in its sweet spot through corners, climbs, and quick dashes across intersections. For those who relish the mechanical connection of shifting gears, the Monkey feels like a shrunken-down sports bike for the city. The Dax, in contrast, uses a 4-speed with a centrifugal clutch. No clutch lever, no manual engagement, just twist and go. It's a system that makes riding accessible to anyone, even total beginners. The Dax still requires some gear changes, but without the need to coordinate a clutch, it feels as easy as a scooter while still giving a taste of motorcycle mechanics. Ergonomics. Short wheelbase versus long bench. Sit on the Monkey, and you immediately feel its compact sportiness. The solo seat is plush, the handlebars are close, and the fuel tank sits proudly between your knees like a traditional motorcycle. It's a layout that encourages you to lean forward slightly when riding aggressively. The Dax changes the equation with a longer wheelbase and a flat bench seat. The seat is firmer, but it accommodates a passenger thanks to the inclusion of foot pegs. Taller riders may find the extra space welcome, while the longer chassis gives the bike a planted feel at speed. The city is a playground. Honda tested these bikes in Los Angeles, where they tackled dense traffic, steep hills, and even some light off-road trails in Elysian Park and Echo Park. This is where riding technique differences became clear. On steep grades, the Monkey shines. Being able to hold a gear manually means you can stop mid-climb without rolling backward, and then pull away smoothly. This advantage is amplified for lighter riders, who can more easily keep the engine in second gear on steep slopes. The Dax requires a different approach. Stop on an incline, and the automatic clutch drops the bike into neutral, meaning you're relying on brakes alone to hold position. Pulling away requires careful throttle control to prevent rolling back. It's not hard to master, but it demands awareness, acceleration, and speed. Neither bike is built for highway dominance, but both can comfortably cruise between 50 to 55 miles per hour and touch 60 miles per hour under ideal conditions. In real-world terms, that's perfect for urban and suburban use, but not for sustained freeway travel. The Monkey accelerates a bit quicker, especially when riders use the gearbox strategically. The Dax's acceleration feels more linear and less urgent. A smooth, predictable climb rather than a sprint. Handling and suspension. Both bikes feature inverted forks with 4.3 inches of travel up front and twin rear shocks. The DAX offers a slight advantage in rear suspension travel at 4.7 inches, which helps smooth out potholes and rough patches. When it comes to agility, the Monkey's shorter wheelbase makes it more responsive to quick steering inputs. It's easier to flick through tight gaps or weave between cars. The DAX counters with stability. It feels less twitchy and more composed at higher speeds, which can be reassuring for newer riders. Brakes, tires, and confidence. Both use front and rear disc brakes with ABS on the rear. The system engages early, which can be comforting for new riders but might feel abrupt to experienced ones. V-rubber tires provide consistent grip across varied surfaces, from smooth tarmac to light gravel paths. Fuel, economy, and range. If range matters, the Monkey wins decisively. With a 1.5-gallon tank and an estimated 163 miles per gallon, it can go further between fill-ups than most motorcycles on the road today. The DAX's 1-gallon tank and roughly 107 miles per gallon rating still make it extremely economical, but you'll visit the pump more often. The social factor. Riding either of these MiniMotos is a social experience. People smile, wave, and ask questions at stoplights. Children point excitedly. Even non-riders seem drawn to their approachable, almost cartoonish proportions. These are motorcycles that make people happy, whether they're riding or just watching. They also blend into the urban landscape in ways larger motorcycles can't. Riders often find themselves taking shortcuts through plazas, rolling into park areas, or slipping into tiny parking spots with ease. Choosing your MiniMoto. If you're deciding between the two, your riding style will tell you which one to choose. Pick the Monkey if you want more control and connection through a manual gearbox. You value agility over stability. You care about maximum range per tank. You ride solo most of the time. Pick the DAX if you want a clutch-free, easygoing ride. Passenger capability matters. You prefer a more stable chassis at speed. You're happy with a shorter fuel range. Why small can be mighty. The DAX and Monkey prove that riding enjoyment isn't about size or speed. They're light, playful, and forgiving, qualities that make them perfect for honing riding skills. On these bikes, you can practice line choice, body positioning, and throttle control without the intimidation factor of a larger machine. They also encourage exploration. Every side street, park road, and hidden alley becomes an invitation. You ride them not to get somewhere quickly, but to see how much fun you can have getting there.